This video is about the business partner transaction and how to create a supplier in this context. To open the business partner transaction, enter BP in the transaction bar. The transaction will now open and a business partner can be created. It is possible to create a person, organization, or group. When creating a new business partner, it is possible to select organizations and create a corresponding supplier. In this case, select the grouping and the corresponding role. If the business partner already exists, you can search for it to add a role. Select the corresponding partner. Add a new role, in this example, supplier. The mandatory fields must then be filled in. These are mainly address data. In this case, these are already filled in as other roles already exist for the business partner. Finally, the address data can be viewed in the address overview. It is also possible to store further information. For example, organizational data can be entered under the Identification tab. In addition, important tax information, such as the tax number, can be stored in the view for the vendor tax data role. Predefined notes can also be stored under supplier texts. Once all relevant information has been entered, click on the Purchasing button in the header to maintain the logistics view of the supplier. To do this, first select a purchasing organization. Click on the Purchasing Organizations button and accept the corresponding purchasing organization, in this case, 0001. Then fill in the mandatory fields, in this case the order currency. Further information can be entered under the Purchasing Data tab, for example conditions, sales data, or control data. Under the Partner Roles tab, you can now view the functions that the business partner can perform in the process. These are controlled by customizing. Once all relevant information has been entered, the supplier can be saved. When you switch back to the General Data screen, you can now see that the vendor has been maintained. The following shows how to create the Vendor Financial Accounting view. The overview with the general data can also be found here. As the supplier role, for example, FLVN01, has already been created, all relevant information has already been transferred. Therefore, you can now click on the Company Code button in the header to enter information for the accounting view. Use the Company Code button to select a suitable company code, in this case, 1010. Then fill in the mandatory field, Reconciliation Account. For example, select Domestic Liabilities. Now save the settings. The Vendor Financial Accounting view is now also maintained.
We hope the video helped you. In case you got any additional questions or comments, please leave a message below. See you next time, your advist-Academy.